Hi, this is Stacia, and I'm back with another training game on chess.com. So I am very determined to reach 1800, but in order to do that, I need to recover from my recent losses and break 1700. So this game is an attempt to do just that. Let's have a look. Okay, so I got the white pieces, which is nice, and I played one e4, he played one e5, and I went knight f3. So I also know how to play the move f4, the king's gambit. And my opponent surprised me on move 2 with the move f5. And this is the Latvian gambit, which I know nothing about. So I decided, though, that was in a gutsy mood, and that I would simply take the pawn. Now, that's a very risky decision. I mean, I actually preach usually that if you don't know the opening, just develop and play safe moves and you'll be fine. And in hindsight, I kind of wish I did that. But I took the pawn. So the problem with this move, it might be objectively good for all I know. We're about to find out. But the problem is that my opponent will know any tricks better than I will, since I know nothing about this opening. Okay, so now we're going to look at the opening book. Yeah, that is the main move, and it scores well for white. Probably if white knows what they're doing. Bishop c4 is also possible, and e takes f5 is possible. So all these are moves. Knight takes e5, though, seems like, accept the gambit. And he played knight to f6. So instead of taking my pawn, which I thought he might do, he simply developed his knight. And if we look now, knight f6 is not the main move at all. In fact, it seems inferior. The best moves are knight to c6 and queen f6 is the main move. Wow, queen f6. So against this, I would almost certainly go d4, which is the main move. And then he goes d6, kicking away the knight. And then we're supposed to go knight to c4 for unknown reasons. I think maybe we're avoiding this square because of pawn takes and the knight would have to move again. That seems annoying. Then we go here, but maybe he can then play. He's going to get this in. Oh, he can't yet, though. Okay, so we're learning a tiny bit about the Latvian gambit. I like to do that. But my opponent played knight to f6. And this is a rare move. So even if I didn't know the Latvian, I probably wouldn't know this move. Okay. I went bishop to c4. And this move just felt like principled to me. I know there's ways to cover the threat, but at least I'm developing my bishop to a good square. I like it when d5 can't be played so easily. Like, notice the d4 pawn does cover that. And he played queen to e7. Okay, so here my knight is under attack. I did see this. And I retreated. I see now that the masters play the move d4. But I actually thought, well, d4 is a little risky because after this, my knight's attacked and he's going to win this pawn. Wow. Well, we could play bishop f7 right now, which seems just crazy to me. How could we play this? I mean, okay, he goes here. Great. Are you guys seeing this? I mean, okay, bishop b3. This is something that happens a lot in these types of lines. I play this in the Traxler. Like I play a bishop takes and then retreat. And what's nice is it's a clearance move because the knight can then appear on f7 and conduct a fork. Yeah, but here I don't understand what's happening because okay takes and then I take with check. Oh, and win the piece back. Wow, look at that. Yeah, this is crazy stuff, but I do need to learn to calculate this in the opening and quickly. Like I don't know if you see the times. I don't think you do, but I have 10 minutes and my opponent have 14. And that was in, okay, if we go back, after bishop c4, queen e7, I had 14 minutes and then I thought for 4 minutes before I played knight f3. And I did feel like I didn't want to play this move, but I could not find anything. So I guess it turns out I could play d4 here. So that's really good to know, and that will be a flashcard for me. Knight to f3, d5. I thought this was a really good move. Let's see what the computer says. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Hang on a second, sorry about that. Clicking buttons. Okay. Queen e7. And yeah, d5. Let's look at this one. d5 is second best. F takes e4 is even better. Makes sense. Yeah, knight f3 is just not a good move. Black's actually better now. He could take here, which forces my knight to move again. And also, where should the knight even go? If I go here, that's probably a huge mistake. Queen c5 would be a fork. Yeah. So knight f3 is bad. He did go d5. I think this is a good move. And, I mean, my pawn is pinned. But what's worse about this is it's kind of a fork because he's hitting my bishop and this pawn. I can't defend both. So I retreated the bishop. And then he took. So I think I'm just a lot worse here. I mean, this is a really nice center. I've had to move my knight around a lot. And yes, I went knight d4, but I mean, I must admit, I lost the opening battle. But anything can happen in chess, so we continue with optimism. Okay, bishop to g4. I saw he might play this move. And I thought here I have to go knight e2, which is correct. He played knight c6, developing a piece. Yeah, and now I thought, like d3, pawn takes, queen takes would be fine, stepping out of the pin. So that means I could play d4, so that's what I did. That is, oh, I castled, never mind. Thought for sure I did that. I castled first. He castled queenside. Yeah, and like he was disconnecting. I think he just had a bad internet connection though. Because, okay, if they have a full bar and they disconnect, then I'm very suspicious of that. But if they have one bar and they disconnect, yeah, they probably just have a bad connection. Okay, but he came back and castled after almost losing by abandonment. And now what to do? Definitely thought about h3 here, but I think d4 is warranted. He did take, and I took with the queen. Yeah, the computer hates all this, and I know why. It's because it loses. So I just remembered that this happened in the game. But, okay, my knight is attacked twice. So this just loses this move, d4. Instead, I have to go h3. I'm trying to kick the bishop. And if he maintains, we have to get out of the pin. The computer is giving queen e1 because I have to get out of the pin. And this is not a good position for me, though. Definitely not. So I'm very embarrassed right now, you guys. This is not my best game. It's probably one of the worst games I've played so far. Because d4 just loses due to takes. I failed the c, and this is something that's happened to me before. When there's a pawn capture in the calculation, you need to stop and ask, what's being opened? Because that opened an attack on my knight, which is now attacked twice. And he's also pinned, so this loses. And I thought he would take with a queen, but he took with a bishop. Now this move's fine, but it's a little bit trickier. So I was kind of thankful he took with the bishop. Now I can play a check, at least with the queen, so that's what I did. And I was expecting queen d7 here. Curious what the computer thinks about that. Like queen d7? What's wrong with this? Yeah, it's totally fine. It also gives king b8, which is baffling. I guess the computer's not afraid of rook u1 pinning the bishop because the rook will be undefended. So, looking for ways like, yeah, because then once I'm in that situation where it's like a double pin both ways, then if black can just get my king to a light square, the bishop can move check, and oh, no, that's not going to work. I don't know, but it feels very tenuous. Okay, he did play king b8. Makes sense though, it's a good move. Rook e1 anyway, and knight to d4. I was kind of happy to see this move because now I could position my queen here, and I expected him to take the bishop here, which is not the best move. He played queen to c5. Now after queen to c5, I started feeling a little better. Computer doesn't think I am better at all, but I had this move. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this pins and attacks the knight again. How do you defend that knight? Not to mention that when the knight falls, the bishop could fall. Oh, that's because the computer sees a good move here. Queen to a5. Look at that move. It's a tempo move on my undefended rook. That is very nice. I could go knight c3, right, and block it. And if knight c3, it says knight e6. Tempo on the queen again. Okay, I'm looking. Where would I go? Where would I go? Because I mean, we're about to take this bishop, hopefully. If I can just find a good place for the queen. If g3, I could get attacked some more. If queen e5, I get attacked some more. Computer wants queen a4 or h4. a4. Trading queens. Very suspicious. Let's go h4. Yeah, he does have time to move the bishop. Okay. So queen a5, just that one tempo saves the day. But he didn't play that. He played this move. So this is a blunder. Bishop to d6. And yeah, my intuition told me it was a blunder because, like, I just take the knight. So basically he had to find queen a5, and when he didn't, he settled for this. But I can take with a queen or a bishop here, I think. I took with a queen. He took, I took. And he went bishop here, which I also don't think is that great of a move. Now I can play knight c3 with tempo on the bishop. And he went here to defend the pawn, which I actually thought didn't need to be defended because of this little trick, you know? Like I take here, he plays here. But okay, believe it or not, white is better now. White is better now. So I survived that somehow because my opponent didn't find queen a5. Yeah, so I did feel like I had new life here, and I was like, ooh, let's try to win. Okay. Yeah, and I thought a while here because it's like, how do I proceed now? It's like one of those situations where you need to proceed and make progress, and it's just like kind of awkward. So I settled on the move knight e2, which is not on the computer's radar. It wants g3 or h4. h4. I would never play h4. I have no idea what that move is. Why would I play h4? If anyone knows, please tell me, because I have no idea. Do I want this square? I just don't know at all what h4 is. Maybe avoiding back rank? I don't know. Okay, but I went knight e2. And the reason is I want to get out of the way of my pawn. I thought pushing this pawn is going to be needed to make this bishop better, potentially. And also maybe I could, you know, reroute and come in like this or something. Although he does have this if he wants it. But he would have to defend the knight first. So, okay. So knight e2. Computer doesn't totally hate it. Rook here. Knight g3. Now, I actually thought he should go g6 here because the knight is defended now. Computer agrees. He did not. He went rook to f7. So probably preparing to double rooks, but also just guarding this pawn. I remember us threatening the pawn during the game. Oh, he wants to move his knight. He probably wants to move his knight, but didn't want me to take. Okay, so I have the chance to play knight f5. You don't have to tell me twice. And that is the best move. And if I could take this bishop, I will do that. And here he played bishop takes h2. So I must admit, this really caught me by surprise, which it shouldn't. When I put my knight on f5, I should note that my knight is undefended and that it's in line with the rook. So his idea was to take with check, move the knight, and then take the knight, which looks good on the surface, but yeah, there is a problem with it. So once we were at this point, only then did I see that I have king g3. So takes, we'll see if I'm right, check, king g3. The king is a warrior in the endgame. Look at him. Look at him. The king wins the game here by going to g3, or so you would think. We're going to continue. Who knows what happens with me, right? Because I get in time pressure. Okay, h5. He defended his knight, but now I got his bishop for free. So, yeah. Do I take the pawn? That's a question, you know? Like, I do have it attacked twice. I could also simply retreat the knight. In hindsight, I really think, oh, retreating the knight might be bad. I mean, he could then take. I'll be interfering with the defense. Computer wants knight e7. Didn't consider that move, but I like it. So we're placing the knight in an intersection square, one that is guarded by the rook. And we're attacking the bishop. Are we doing anything else? Also the pawn, I guess. Wow, computer wants knight takes f2, which I don't understand. Okay, in this position, I would take probably like that. Check. Okay, so that's deflection. So that I'll unguard the bishop. Wow, I don't have a choice. Yeah. Wow, I didn't see this either. Gotta get sharper. Gotta get sharper. Okay. Okay, I took the pawn though. Rook g8. Of course, this is the response. And now, wow, the computer wants to play f3. It's a hard move to play. I mean, yeah, I don't know. f3, I mean, he can take like this if he wants. Now when the knight moves, there's discoveries, but I'm guessing there are no good ones. Oh, I just take the knight. This works out, doesn't it? Yeah, f3 is a scary move to play, but it works. Okay. It's good for me to know. Rook e6 is the other one the computer wants. I played king h4. Computer says it's fine. He did take the pawn. I didn't really see a choice but to give him that. I took the knight. And that is a blunder, apparently. Yeah, this is complicated. I mean, if I take the knight, I'm not going to be defending that knight, so my bishop's overworked. This I saw during the game, but I didn't see anything better. Computer wants to move g3, which is just like, really? What does that do? g3. I have no idea. Do you guys know? What the heck is g3? That is funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what g3 is. We're going to look at it because, okay, take my, you get two pieces. Computer says take the, oh yeah, take the rook, it says. Two pieces for a rook is usually good, but now it says bishop takes d5. Oh, it's a back rank thing. Because they can't take back because of back rank. And if I just win this pawn, let's maintain, I don't know. There's rook g4 check. Okay. Sorry, I get distracted, I know, but I was very interested in that line. So king h4 he took and I took, and this is a mistake, although I don't understand g3. And also on c3, so I think these are waiting moves. Like, yeah, I need to get better at chess because maybe the best thing is to wait here. There is no compelling reason to take the knight. Yeah, you know what? It just gives up the two bishops. And I should be welcome to make the trade if he wants to take on g7. Because I'm up material. And then there's back rank issues. So that's the story. I have to play a waiting move. And the computer thinks that G3 and C3 are, you know, slight improvements for white. That's what's going on here. Okay, great to know. But I took and he took, and yeah, this actually does improve his rook. So why do this, right? And this is the move I was planning, but I mean, I saw rook f takes g2 with the threat of checkmate, and I thought I would play king e3 here. Or I mean, rook e3. Computer wants king h3. Likes that better and says it's a draw. It says rook e3 loses. Wow. I knew d4 was a thing, which is what the computer is saying. But I thought I could simply take it. Why can't I take it? Now it says rook 8 to g4 check. Oh, it's a fork. Did miss this. Yeah, and here he did play check. This I saw. I thought I could survive this actually, but I missed I missed a check for black here. Bishop e8 check. I think I missed it because in my calculation I didn't see that the rook is interrupted by the knight, unfortunately. And after this, I think I'm just getting mated. There's no way out. Yeah, king h6 is forced, and now I'm getting ladder mated. Just like my students. No, I'm just kidding. So wow, what a game. This is one that was swinging up and down. If I look at the report, yeah, it goes up and down quite a bit. I got outplayed in the opening because I didn't know it. I then was losing. Then I came back and was winning. And then I blundered this ending. Yeah, and to me, the real disappointing moves are this one and this one, because I need to know chess better. But I guess also it's because I was under a minute and I'm just making quick moves. So time pressure gets me again. Yeah. So I might really work on my time management soon. I might start a series like, you know, I don't know if you guys have watched John Bartholomew's series, Using the Clock as a Weapon, but I think that I should maybe copy him on that. I think it's okay if I do because I've hired him before, and well, and I greatly respect him and his methods. So I think maybe I might try something like that, where my sole goal of the game is to stay ahead on the clock. Because I am noticing that a lot of times I see the correct moves fairly quickly and I second guess myself, and maybe that's just a bad habit that I need to correct. And then once I do, I'll have a lot more results, because I don't think I played this game that bad. No, I do actually. Okay, we're gonna look at the key moments. You guys know I like to do this at the very end, but it's good to go over the highlights after you're done. Like, just point out a couple highlights that you should remember. Wow, and the computer, like, seriously? Why did it go through all this? I don't know. Actually, there are moments before this, so I guess this is broken. Yeah, okay, now it's working. Knight f3 is a blunder. Oh, I have to check the screen and see what you guys are saying. Okay, you can see it. That's good enough. Yeah, knight f3 would decide it was a blunder. I have to play d4, I think. Yeah, I have to go d4. It's a developing move. It takes the center. This is the correct way to go. castles was a mistake because I should go d4. After this, queen e5 is possible, it says. Very strange looking move to me. Centralizing the queen and I guess stopping d4. It's like a strong arm type of move. So yeah, I think d4. So I had to play d4 sooner. That is noted. And then when I did play d4, it was a mistake. I have such a history of mistiming moves. And I did that this game. But yeah, d4 is a mistake here because it loses material. Remember that. The queen gets opened up on the knight. So instead of that, I think I have to kick the bishop away. And then maybe go queen e1. We did look at this. Okay, it liked me accepting the sacrifice. I did too because I love king g3. Yeah, and then bishop takes f2 is a blunder. I shouldn't take the knight. So if we recall, what was the right move here? I'm trying to remember now. I think the computer wanted like crazy moves like g3 or c3 here. I don't understand g3, but I might play c3 just to potentially reroute the bishop. I also really wanted to make rook e8 check work during the game, but this stupid bishop is guarding it. But that would trade down into a winning ending for me. So all right, I'll play this one, I guess. It says white has a significant advantage, yay. Okay. Next. Yeah, and this move loses apparently because of rook h2 check. Okay, that's good to know because the reason I played this move is to stop checkmate. Oh, I think he has this move. I just saw this now. And if I step away, is this right? Yeah, if I step away, can't he just take now? Oh, this rook's hanging. It says rook h to g2 now. Yeah, I was wondering about this, but then I take this one. So is this what the computer wanted? Here, this is the only move, and then it says rook h to g2. That's going to threaten checkmate. No, I can take that pawn. Okay. So there's still play here, but obviously you don't want your king in this position. This is why black has an advantage here. This is not good at all. And okay, well that concludes this game. So yeah, I feel like I'm letting you guys down because I could have come back and won this game, but the time pressure got me at the end, I think. So but as you'll see, no matter how far I fall, I will keep fighting and I will break 1700 again and I will go farther. I promise you. My persistence is my best strength. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll be back with more. Bye.